Summer season is here, and after months of being stuck indoors, it is evident that people are really itching to get out of the house.
Yes, but of course we are still in this pandemic, and as we've seen recently, COVID-19 still very much active in states across the country. So joining us live this morning to talk about how people can keep themselves safe this summer, Dr. Christina Baumann, the Washington County Health Officer. Thank you so much for joining us again this morning, Doctor.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So obviously, we've been telling people for months now, we all know that one of the best ways to prevent the spread is to try and stay home, try to wear a mask, and there seems to be some reluctance with the mask wearing. I think it's going to get worse as the weather gets a little warmer. So are there certain types of masks that are better than others? Is there something that would be better for summer? What's your advice?
So my advice is that face coverings are effective at decreasing the spread of the virus. If you wear something, that's better than nothing. The more layers of fabric, that's an important aspect of the mask. If it fits well, if it's washable, and most importantly, that you can breathe and it's comfortable for you to wear when it's warm outside and you're doing your activities. But overall, wearing a mask or face covering is the most important thing that people can do right now.
It probably differentiates between person to person what they prefer as far as the style of the mask.
If you'll wear it, then it's good.
Then it's good, yes. What are some other ways that people can stay safe over the summer? And we've got this holiday coming up this weekend, July 4th.
Yeah. So the Oregon Health Authority recently came out with a report that took the rate of increase of cases that we've been seeing in June and projected it out over the next month. And they looked at 3 different scenarios. The most likely one is the moderate scenario, and that projected a 10% increase in cases that we've been seeing already and what would happen over the next month. And honestly, it's alarming. The rate of increase will put us around 900 cases a day by the end of July. And that's not even taking into consideration what would happen if people don't take precautions over the holiday weekend. So what we do right now will really make a big difference on how many people get sick this summer and especially over the next month.
So let's talk about this weekend in particular too. What would a safe 4th of July get together look like? If people are saying, I want to have that backyard barbecue, or I want to have my family over, I want to have a block party, what can they do to try and be socially distant in doing that?
Absolutely. So the safest way to spend the holiday is to spend it with the people that you live with. If you decide to celebrate with people outside of that circle, some of the good things that you can do is make it a small group. The more people, the more risk. And stay outside. Another thing is to have people bring their own food, their own drinks, their own servingware. You do not want to be sharing those items among multiple people. But the most important thing is to practice good hygiene. So as we talked about, that includes wearing a mask. And even if you're wearing a mask, keep a distance of at least 6 feet from others. Wash your hands. Don't get together if you're feeling any illness symptoms. And encourage others to practice these public health recommendations. And that's a really great way that we can all protect each other.
I know this has been a big thing for parents. I have 2 daughters, and we just talked to them yesterday about how we're going to have to scale back play dates as we've seen these numbers start to shoot up again. Do you have tips for parents as far as, maybe their kids have neighborhood friends that they see? I mean, is there a way to quarantine together as a neighborhood, or what would your suggestion be for a lot of parents out there?
Sure. So we've of course been saying stay with your household group, but if you are going to expand that circle, make it a limited and consistent group. So don't change around the kids that your child is playing with. If you can keep it consistent, and if the other family can do the same and kind of keep a smaller circle, that can help everybody and make it a little bit safer.
Okay, all good things to keep in mind as we finalize those plans for the 4th. Hopefully we can do it safely. Thank you again for joining us, Dr. Baumann. Always good to talk to you.